Hey. Rant and chill. How's it going, Mr. Deadman? Okay, yeah, so I'm not COVID positive, not that I know of anyway, not right now, but there is, of course, someone I live with, someone close to me. I think you guys can figure out what I'm talking about is COVID positive, which means, we live in the same household together, which means I probably am. I'm going to have a test a couple days, actually tomorrow. And if for some reason I come up negative, what are the odds that I later become positive just by mingling around, just living in the same domicile? Pretty good odds, right? Some good odds right there. So there's a chance I could have it. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. That's not the reason why I'm not smoking a cigar right now. I'm not smoking a cigar right now because I'm only down to 4. I want to make them last. Got a new order coming in. But if I know what I know about germs and viruses, that they don't like alcohol. So let's see if a shot of Kraken will help keep me safe. How y'all doing? Y'all doing okay? Parler's banned forever, for good, from everywhere, from everything. And many people cheer that on. We'll talk about that. Trump only has a week left and they want to impeach him. Okay. He might be out by they might actually run out of time on this one. I don't know. We'll see. Katrina, how bad does COVID seem? Well, I don't know yet. See, here's the thing. I don't have it. My wife has it, but we live together, right? She found out the other day that she had it. In fact, let me take the shot, and I'll get into the story, and I will get into what's all happening. Ooh. That feels good. Okay. Kraken. Black roast. Good stuff. Anyway. So a couple of days ago, actually it was on Sunday. What's the day? Monday? It was on Saturday. It was on Saturday that this happened. So on Saturday, my wife takes a COVID test, and she wasn't feeling too well. It seemed just like normal sinus, like flu stuff. You don't really know. You're not 100% sure, right? You don't know. There were some people at her work that tested positive. So they got her thinking maybe she had it. All right, reasonable thinking there. So she takes the test. What am I doing? Oh, I'm helping move furniture out because we got a new table and all that stuff. And she comes back, and I see that my sister-in-law, who went with my wife, is wearing a mask outside. Now, we live in Texas. No one wears masks outside on their own yard unless you're just insane, right? The virus isn't just going to be pumping out of the ground and all that stuff. It's not like a ghost or phantom that's flying everywhere. If you're on your own yard by yourself, there's no need to wear a mask. But she was wearing a mask. So instantly I was like, oh, okay, something's up. I was like, wait, why are you wearing a mask? Clicked right away. Uh-oh. That test was paused, wasn't it? I turned around, my wife was like, I have bad news. I was like, yeah? I know. You're positive. She's like, can you say it any louder? Everyone can hear. It's like, it's all right. You'll get better. I hope. Way to be reassuring, right? Way to be reassuring. It's like, well, we'll take it one day at a time, and we'll navigate the situation. What it means is that our kids can't go to daycare or school right now. It means I have to tell my boss that, hey, there's a chance I could be positive. I live with someone that's positive. I got to go take a test. I would take a test on Tuesday. Bam, have my brain scrambled for that. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, they stick that stuff way up your nose. I don't know. I'm afraid of that. I'm actually kind of worried about that. Now, this probably wasn't a smart move because, okay, some of you guys might try to shame me for this part, but look, I did go back out. I went back out to the grocery store to get some supplies that we would need, like medicine supplies and, some things. It was actually going to be a small grocery run, but it turned out to be pretty big because the kids are not going to daycare or school, so we're going to have lots of food. If you know anything about kids, they eat through snacks like crazy. I don't have any symptoms. I don't know if I'm positive yet. I don't think I am. But like I said, we live in the same house, so the chances are I probably am. Who knows right now, right? I am feeling good right now. I will say on Saturday when my wife broke the news to me that she was positive, that I did overthink, was like, okay, my breathing. How's my breathing? Am I breathing okay? Is my breathing okay? John C. Fat Sack says, what's your wife's boyfriend going to say? That's hilarious. My wife doesn't have a boyfriend. But my boyfriend is going to be really pissed. How about that one? John C. Fetzig, I never called Jamie for coughing on minorities. Okay. I was wearing a mask when I went to the grocery store. Come on. I didn't cough. You know what's funny, though? When you go to the grocery store, people wearing masks, you know what you see? You see people grabbing a product and putting a product back. And it's like, this is just pretend time when it comes to safety, But people need to go get stuff. They need to get supplies. People have to live. Anyway. So right now, I don't know if I'm positive, right? I don't know if the kids are positive. They're going to be tested soon. But the way we're living right now is, we have someone who's infected pretty much in one room. Whenever she's out, we all walk away and try to stay more than 6 feet away from her. Oh, get away. Can't be around you. Get away. Whenever she's around me, I hold my breath. As if that's supposed to help. She's wearing a mask. I ain't wearing a mask. In my own home. Okay, let's just say I take the test on Tuesday and I come back positive. Why would I fucking wear a mask in my own home? I'm in my own home. But so the kids don't get it? Come on now. If my wife is positive and I'm positive, for damn sure the kids are positive. Okay. Chauncey says, I hope all goes well for you. Get well soon. Well, so far I'm not feeling bad. But for my wife, sure. And I ask her, hey, do you have a fever or anything? Because, look, here's the deal. I've been following the coronavirus since pretty much its outbreak in China, right? And hey, when we were covering it, and I say we in a collective sense, and I'm thinking of names like Mr. Mediker. He was a bigger guy covering that shit. When I was covering it, I was like, not even a blip on the radar. But, people were talking about it. And we're like, hey, China's quarantining like crazy. China's welding people into their apartments, boarding people into their homes, forcing people by gunpoint to stay home. Okay. And then you see body bags collect. You see bodies drop in the street. You see some crazy things that really frame fear, right? It really puts fear into you. Oh my God, this virus is going to be the worst thing ever. So yeah, I was worried about the coronavirus. I was worried about COVID-19 even before it came to the States. But, things, sure, the cases are going up. In the States now, it's went through Europe and the U.S. and sure, cases are high. And sure, people die from it, but it doesn't seem to be the apocalypse. It's not the Black Death. It's not killing even close to 50% or 20% or even 15% or even 10% or even 5%. It's so what I'm saying is my thoughts about having someone who's COVID-19 positive around me is kind of mixed. Like, I know for the most part, we're going to be fine. We should be fine. Statistically, we should be fine. But there's that element of fear. There is that little nagging, not nagging, just lingering doubt. What if things just go awry? What if this becomes a worst case scenario? God forbid that. Though, I mean, why'd I even knock on wood on that one? You know what I said before. God has abandoned us. Convince me otherwise. That could be a live stream in the future. God has abandoned us. Change my mind. Change my view. That would be great. Now, of course, if I do find out that I'm positive, I guess we'll have another episode where I'll be like, all right, day one of me finding out that I'm positive. Let's see what happens here. Am I going to make it through 14 days? We'll see. And that's the thing I recall about this virus, that even when you do have it, like, you may not even know until later on. You may not even feel symptoms until a number of days into it, like 5 days, 7 days, as far as like 10 days. So right now I'm fine. But what if tomorrow I'll come down with like a crazy, insane fever and start foaming out of the mouth and, like, I don't know, shitting myself. Oh, Surfing Cowboy. Another way around, we've abandoned God. Now we're getting paused. Fair point. Really can't argue that one. If someone came to me during that live stream and said, no, we've abandoned God, they're like, no. Yeah. I can see that. All right. So what happens now? Like, well, it is a weird time. Like, I'm sleeping on the couch to no fault of my own, just to be safe. We treat my wife's appearance in any room as if, like, oh, we gotta stay away. Like she's a zombie or something, I check in on her. Hey, you got a fever? You good? All right. You good? Just checking. All right. Whereas now I'm like, Mr. Wife over here. Mr. Wife doing more. I gotta do my laundry. I, a grown-ass man, have to do my own goddamn laundry? What? I'll do my laundry. Have to make my own sandwiches? What? Make my kids sandwiches? What? But that's where we're at. Guess what else am I gonna do? I don't care if you have COVID or not. You're gonna go make those kids their sandwich. So yeah, and once again, I'm not worried. I'm not living in fear. Most people that succumb to the virus, who die from it, they seem to have some other health-related issue, like diabetes or high blood pressure or something. Of course, I do have high blood pressure and overweight, obviously, drink and smoke. So if I survive it, you guys should all be looking pretty good. No, but you hear about like 60-year-old men that survive. Hell, I mean, there's reports that like women in their 90s have survived this fucking virus. So it's like hit and miss, it seems. The best thing I could do is just navigate the situation. Just be smart about it. Not freak out. No one's freaking out, and that's good. We're just trying to be safe. Take precaution. She's not going out. I'm not hanging out with neighbors. And then we will see what happens from there. My kids are, my son, he goes to school, and he took classes online this morning, and bam, got through all of them like within an hour. It's like, damn, shit. This is easier than you actually going to school. That's all you have to do is those activities. Bam, you're done. Well, damn, son. I guess now it's Minecraft. All right. So, yeah, that's the COVID-19 talk. Let's get into the Parler stuff. Let's get into the bread tube uprising. I don't know about that. Guys, I actually did want to do a mock commie stream, but I don't know if I can keep it up. I don't know if I can keep up that act. Guys, Parler is gone. Parler's been banned. I kicked off every platform you could think of. Parler is no more. No one's hosting Parler. No one's carrying Parler. You can't access Parler. That's it. All the companies have collectively decided no to Parler. And the ones that are cheering that on, well, they are on the left. Oh, do I have to make it a political issue? Well, of course it's a political issue. Am I wrong there? Those that are applauding this are on the left. And they're applauding this, thinking that it's a great move because they see Parler as like this Nazi hive mind or some shit. They see Parler as this place where anything goes and crazy stuff could be said and there's no vetting or anything like that. So it's good riddance. What they don't understand is that if this happened to them, let's say instead of a bunch of Trump supporters that stormed, raided, in quotations, the Capitol. Let's say if Bernie supporters did that. Let's say Bernie supporters did that. Let's say Bernie tweeted out, hey, come to the Capitol. It's going to be amazing. We're going to stop the steal. Hillary's not going to win. Boom. We're going to lock her up. Let's say Bernie did that. Let's say Bernie found his balls and he did that. And the Bernie bros stormed the Capitol. I know some of you guys may be hesitant on this, but I do not believe that the establishment, the powers in charge, would just let that happen and just tolerate that going forward. No. They would shut that down, and then they would frame the Bernie bros as terrorists and all that stuff, and Bernie would be kicked off, and anyone who supported Bernie would be kicked off, and any app that carried him would be kicked off, and everything would be shut down. And then the left would be crying, but our free speech. It's shut down. But they won't see that. You bring up a point like that, they just think it's ridiculous. Even though some of them, deep down inside, know that you're right, and they know that you have a point. But, hey, all Parler has to do is build their own, right? Just build your own hosting server, build your own ISP, build your own operating. How about Parler? Parler, you expect a free ride, huh? You expect to spread hate speech and fuel Nazi propaganda, evil stuff, using services that are good and virtuous, using servers that other people paid for. No, you can't do that. You got to build your own stuff. Alucard PG said the Mr. Devon meetup is canceled. No, guys. I want you guys to become positive too. You guys will become positive with me. Okay, we're gonna have a whole positive fest. This will be called Getting Pause. Okay. So yeah, Parler's down, probably forever. They're not gonna be able to fight it. The lawyers have left him. They have nothing. And I saw this on Reddit, and people were just like cheering this on. Let me see if I can pull some of the comments off Reddit here. Let's see. Parler CEO says service dropped by every vendor could end business. And the second comment I see on Reddit is from someone named Political Lint. It goes, does anyone else think their logo vaguely resembles a swastika? The Parler logo, which is a P. It's a P. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a joke comment. I don't think so at this point. Let me repeat that. Someone actually said on Reddit, and I don't think it's supposed to be some sort of joke. Says, does anyone else think their logo, Parler's logo, vaguely resembles a swastika? Let's see. Third one says, will they see the irony from Peacock Luckcook? What the heck is that name? Will they see the irony that capitalism, which they so vehemently support, is exactly what allows just 3 companies the titanic amount of power to completely control the market like this and shut them down? Oh, that's funny. I mean, this commenter doesn't really understand. I don't think understands that in the communist utopia, it's going to be the government that has the full-on control, power to shut it down. But it doesn't have to happen now because they could just go through corporations, which is, these people that are cheering this on, they claim to be against fascism, right? And fascism, from what I understand, some people just say that it just means right-leaning, which is stupid. No. But fascism is when you have corporate and political powers kind of mingling for control. When you have the government able to control your life, dictate your life with the help and assistance and through corporate powers, where you can't hold them in check because the laws don't apply to them. That's what's happening now. That's what's been happening, though. Anyway, let's see. The next comment here. Oh, this one looks reasonable. From Kiro Lay. Free speech is dead. I don't care what side you're on. I pick the side where people can say whatever they want, even if I don't agree with it, especially if I disagree with it. And I stand by that point. If you're not willing to defend even the most vile speech, then you don't stand for free speech. Okay? And no, I'm not and don't you dare throw in that other stuff in there. I know what you I'm talking about speech. I'm not talking about drawings of degenerate stuff, like things I don't even want to talk about. And when the person goes on saying, I will protect your ability to say what you think. I'd rather live in a world where people say what they think rather than live in a world where everyone pretends to think in a homogenized and sanitized manner, all the while secretly thinking nothing of the sort. Of course, this person, is getting downvoted. And of course, you get people that say, actually, freedom of speech only means the government can't muzzle you. A private server, a company, a corporation can muzzle you. Interesting how the people on the left have no problem with a corporation silencing the voice of those they don't care about. But if these companies were to kick out and not do business with and shut down the speech of people based on race and gender and sexual orientation, they would have a problem with it. They would have a problem with it, but they could shut it down based on political leanings. How they don't see the hypocrisy in that is baffling to me. I want to see that happen. Last year, they were actually in California. They were actually trying to get rid of some civil rights laws there so that they can discriminate based on race. I want to see these corporations, these companies go all the way balls to the wall on this shit. Because right now, they're able to just shut down the speech they don't care for under with the defense that they're a private company, they could do what they want. Okay. Also note, when this happens to the extreme left, when they start talking about their Marxist uprising and all that stuff, and the politicians get scared of that, and then want to shut that down, when they cry about it, I will not be there to help them. I will not. And neither should you. They get no sympathy. Let's see. Of course, you get more comments like, oh no, bummer, sips tea. Some of these comments are actually on point, but of course they get downvoted. Like this one here. Redditors, no censorship is bad. China censors. Let's build a library in Minecraft with all censored books for people to read. Okay. Also Reddit. Wait, you don't believe in my exact political and social philosophy? All right, time to shoot at you and remove any platform you have to speak and cheer as you are silenced. Oh boy, I love echo chambers. I mean, that's what's happening here. And look, the thing is, if you cut out this conservative purge is what is happening here. Anything that's conservative leaning is going to be targeted. Right now it's Parler. Gab is what next, right? They're trying to target Gab too. Mom's Ravioli. California thinks Lincoln is too spicy. Count Dankula has an excellent video on 10 arguments against freedom of speech, where he points out the idiocracy of people trying to curb it. Oh, okay. I'll take a look at that. One second. Yeah, I wasn't gonna. Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, when conservatives don't have a place to meet or discuss or anything like that, just ideas, then what's next? Are they just gonna take it, sit down and take it? I don't think so. I don't think so. You watch. When they don't have a place to go, they're going to find a place. They're going to mingle. And if they are not given a chance to have discourse and be able to have a dialogue, have a discussion about things, then violence is the only answer they will have. That's not me approving of it, but I'm just pointing out the facts. When you make it to where, I mean, that's why you had people at the Capitol. Sure, okay, President Trump had a problem at blaming it too by inviting there. Okay, whatever. But before we even got to that, the reason why you had a bunch of angry Trump supporters there is because they believe the election was stolen, which, based on Susan Wojcicki, I have to say that it wasn't. But we all know what happened. And I'm not going to be silent about that. Right? But leading up to that, I mean, you had lawsuits that were just not entertained. The courts didn't even hear them. The courts didn't even want to hear it. We're not going to hear it. Okay. Well, then we're going to go on at the Capitol, and we're going to take our grievances, aim it towards them. That's what happened. And that's what happened again. You watch. It may happen again on the far right. It may happen. It may even happen with the far left. See, here's what I'm curious about. What's going to happen down the line this year, very soon, with Biden, with BLM? What's going to happen with that? Is Biden going to give BLM everything they want? Is he? If he bases actions on leaked phone calls, leaked meetings, probably not. I'm very curious what's going to happen with that. I'm very curious about what's going to happen when the idiots on the far left realize that they've been duped. But, who am I? I'm just some guy talking with a microphone. I wasn't really politically interested until pretty much recently. Right? It's just... Anyway, let me go into Discord and I'll play this video. 10 stupid arguments against freedom of speech.
Hello there.
All right, want me to scroll to what? 24:42? Man, that's a long video. That's like a 40-minute video.
Corrupted by fascism as the government. Picture the government.
All right, let me go to the timestamp. He said 24:42. That's 24:06. 24:42. Here we go.
The victim 180. I can't believe my account got banned. Where are all the free speech warriors out there who are going to defend me over my banned account? Help! Where are all the free speech boys? I need help from the free speech! I'll help you out, but I can see here in your past that you conducted flagging campaigns of right-wing content and cheered when they get banned. You were tweeting at YouTube asking them to ban Steven Crowder. You were tweeting at venues asking them to deplatform people. I mean, I'll still help, but I just feel you're being a little bit hypocritical now that you yourself have become the victim of the very behaviour that you were taking part in. Can someone...
Okay, let me put it on the screen. I realized it wasn't on the screen. Here. All right, I'm going to make it bigger. This is funny. All right, 1 second.
Gasoline to prevent forest fires.
Here we go.
Number 7. The Victim 180.
Victim 180.
I can't believe my account got banned. Where are all the Freeze Peach warriors out there who are going to defend me over my banned account?
That's going to be Vosh. That's going to be anyone who gets booted off of Twitter for what they say, for what they... Come on now.
Help! Where are all the Freeze Peach boys? I need help from the Freeze Peach! I'll help you out, but I can see here in your past that you conducted flagging campaigns of right-wing content and cheered when they get banned. You were tweeting at YouTube asking them to ban Steven Crowder. You were tweeting at venues asking them to deplatform people. I mean...
But you don't understand. Those guys are Nazis. I'm just a socialist. I'm innocent. Okay. That's what they'll say. There's no winning.
I'll still help, but I just feel you're being a little bit hypocritical now that you yourself have become the victim of the very behaviour that you were taking part in. Can someone report this guy, please?
That's it.
I've seen far too many times people who are outright authoritarians getting some kind of social media account banned, and then all of a sudden free speech matters again. Or they get banned, they pretend to have a change of heart and ask for help from the free speech guys, and then when we help them out and they get their accounts back, they then just go straight back into being an authoritarian. Because they're fucking idiots who did not learn their lesson. These are the types...
Yeah, they're power-hungry idiots. Actually, they're not idiots. Here's the thing. They know what they're doing. They play people like... They play the free speech guys. Here's the thing. It's easy to frame them as idiots. And we can all agree and cheer on that. But who's the real idiot? Huh? If you have some sort of authoritarian guy who's been banning and flagging stuff because of people based on speech he doesn't like, and it happens to him, and he goes to you for help, goes to the free speech guys for help, and you help him, who's the idiot then? Who's the idiot then? I want you guys to understand here that this cultural divide of the authoritarian lefties that want to call themselves progressive and socialist, whatever, they're just authoritarian left. That's what they are. They are not compatible. They're not ever going to be compatible with free speech. Ever. There is no coming together anymore. I don't see that happening. There is no coming together anymore. There's I'll change my tune to save face, to use you, and then when that's over with, I will then destroy you. What I said earlier about let's say just conservatives that have no place to go and talk, if all they have are like extreme outlets to go and talk to, extreme dark web places that are going to allow just about anything to happen, then you're going to have more people that are going to be exposed to that, and they may start getting really involved into extreme stuff. And what we're going to end up seeing, guys, this is going to be like Ireland. We're going to have, watch what happens. You're going to see domestic terrorism like you've never seen it before. That's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to fucking see. There is no unity anymore. It's gone. It's over. It's done. Anyone who's a conservative is going to be targeted and purged. I want to be positive and be wishful. don't see it. Anyway, was there more to this clip?
Types of people who only care about freedom of speech when they themselves become the victim. And if you are one of those people, and you come to us, the free speech guys, for help, we will still help you.
And that's where you get used, Baked Alaska. Or any free speech guy. It should be no. Being noble, being nice, you get used. You become a tool. See, in the eyes of a socialist, of a Marxist, you're just a tool to be used to achieve something. And they have it, then they destroy you because still you are a tool to be used.
Because as free speech advocates, we understand that absolutely everyone has a right to freedom of speech. If you want to be a free speech advocate, you need to be fair. You must be fair. So if we are able, or if I am able, I will still help you out.
This was last year. I wonder if he still feels the same way. If so, I like Count Dankula, but that's too nice, man. You like being on your knees like that? Time for compassion is over. All right. What left us think about freedom of speech? I'll play this video. Oh, Chomsky free speech. Okay, let me play these two videos. Okay, let me play these videos here.
I do not think that the state ought to have the right to determine historical truth and to punish people who deviate from it. I'm not willing to give the state that right, even if they happen to
But are you denying that the gas chambers ever existed?
But I'm saying if you believe in freedom of speech, you believe in freedom of speech for views you don't like. I mean, Goebbels was in favor of freedom of speech for views he liked, right? So was Stalin. If you're in favor of freedom of speech, that means you're in favor of freedom of speech precisely for views you despise. Otherwise, you're not in favor of freedom of speech. There's two
Exactly. Chomsky's right on this.
positions you can have on freedom of speech. Now, you can decide which position you want. With regard to my defense...
And now Chomsky is seen as... What? How do they see him now? Too soft? Too weak?
Of the utterly offensive... The people who express utterly offensive views, I haven't the slightest doubt that every commissar says, you're defending that person's views. No, I'm not. I'm defending his right to express them. The difference is crucial, and the difference has been understood.
And the thing is, though, that difference between defending someone's right to express their views and defending someone's views are two different things, right? But that difference, that nuance, is not talked about and is not tolerated. There is no, in that difference, that's where you can get some sort of unity and middle ground. That is gone.
Outside of fascist circles since the 18th century.
Is there anything like objectivity, or scientific objectivity, reality? As a scientist,
look, I'm not
saying
I defend the views. If somebody publishes a scientific article, which I disagree with, I do not say the state ought to put him in jail, right?
All right, but you don't have to support him right away and say, I support him just for the sake.
See, look at that. That woman doesn't understand the difference between not wanting to put him in jail and supporting him. Or she doesn't understand the difference between allowing, let's say, a research study to be published and supporting them. She thinks, if it's published, allowed to be published, then it's given support. No, support is support. What are you talking about? They are thinking they see no. It's like to them, existence is support. Being allowed to exist is support. Think about what's going on there. That's what's happening here. Being allowed to exist is support. Something that is intolerant, something that is abhorrent, can't even exist to a authoritarian left's point of view. It can't even exist because it's abhorrent. It needs to be destroyed. In its existence, the very means of it, its existence means that it's supported. So you have to destroy it. That's a very violent way of thinking. Leads to very violent action. But, what am I?
Yeah, but
Everybody's saying that,
fine.
whatever
But
he wants to
suppose
say.
this guy is taken to court and charged with falsification. Then I'm going to defend him, even if I
Right,
disagree.
but he
And that's what
wasn't taken
happened.
to court.
Oh, you're wrong.
But when did you write the support? I mean, did you
When
write
he was brought to court.
do you support
And in fact, the only support that I gave him is to say he has a right of freedom of speech, period.
Wow. Okay, let's play this guy. Oh, you guys are dropping videos. Thank you. Understanding modern political scenario. Okay, this guy. Awaken with JP. His videos are funny.
Hi, friend. Hello, comrade. Do you like free speech? I do not. In fact, I'm censoring you in my mind right now because big tech isn't here doing it for me. Thank you for being so considerate. Free speech is the worst, right? Absolutely terrible. What don't
Free speech is horrible, guys.
you like about it? I can't say. Can't say or don't want to say. Preferably both. I know, in a perfect world, right? It just feels so good to not be able to say what I have to say. Like how not being able to go to the bathroom when you have to go feels good. Exactly. That's why people always feel happy when someone keeps interrupting them. It prevents them from saying what they want to say. I love that. And in banning free speech news, I'm elated to say that Nancy Pelosi is trying to ban gender terms like mother, father, son, and daughter in the House rules. Ooh, I am glad. Reality is so unscientific.
That's good. That's funny.
She'll take sons and daughters away from their mothers and fathers. Well, in speech first, and then... I know. She's a national treasure. I hate people who aren't Nancy Pelosi. What do you hate most about free speech? Hate speech? It's everywhere, isn't it? Yeah, and if people didn't have the right to speak, then there would be no more hate speech. Yes! Brilliant! I not only wish we didn't have the right to speech and hate speech, I wish we didn't even have the right to talk about hate speech. I hate rights. Revoking all the speeches would cleanse the world of hate and everything. Good. I hate hate. And then you'd have a loving world, born from the hate of freedom of speech. Hate's the only way to express love. Is talking about the hate of freedom of speech hate speech? No, it's communism.
No, it's love.
That's much better. But we're
It's communism. It's not even like communism. It's like when I think of communism, I think of like an economic system. I think of that. This is communism of ideas. That's what it is. Not being allowed to express your feelings and not allowed to say certain things. You know what's funny too? The people that would support this, the same people that applaud Parler for getting kicked down, the same people who applaud people being deplatformed for wrong think or saying wrong things. Have you ever talked to them in private? Have you? Do you have family members that are very left-leaning? Do they not make racist jokes every now and then? Do they not say things that are problematic, that would be problematic to them? It's weird, right? It's not weird. You see, it's not a problem when they do it. Because they're right. They're virtuous. They're of good moral character, even though they don't have any idea what morals are.
We're calling it virtue while the communist subversion indoctrinates the sheep through the mainstream media. For how long? Until the next election cycle. Biden and Harris, 4 more years. As if we had a choice. They stopped the spread of ideas. I love that because I hate ideas. We should kill ideas. That's a great idea.
Put them in FEMA camps.
Ideas are the worst. People can think them and then spread them through words. Barf shouldn't be able to do that. It puts people at risk of thinking for themselves. And then do you know how dangerous free-thinking people are? They're like if you gave a polar bear a gun and then put it in a room full of children covered in soy-based meat. Yeah, I know. Polar bears love that kind of thing. Free-thinking people would ruin the world and the New World Order. Do you like what big tech is doing with the genocide of free speech? Yeah, love it. So
oh, this guy's. I don't want to play his whole video, but it's pretty good. You get to check it out for yourself if you want to. I'll put the link in the there. I don't want to play his whole thing. I feel weird about that. Let's see. I think we have one more video in the Discord. What is this last one? Understanding political scenario of India, Canada, Japan, China, and US. Okay. How long is this?
Until such time that the perception of reality of your enemy is screwed up to such an extent that he does not perceive you as an enemy, and that your system, your civilization, and your ambitions look to your enemy as an alternative, if not desirable, then at least feasible. Better red than dead. That's the ultimate purpose, the final stage of subversion, after which you can simply take your enemy without a single shot being fired, if the subversion is successful. This is basically what subversion is. As you see, not a single mentioning of blowing up bridges. Of course, Sun Tzu didn't know about blowing up bridges. Maybe there were not that many bridges at that time. But the basics of subversion.
Let me repeat that again. Let me back up a little bit. That what he's saying is on point.
There is no response similar to that one from United States to the Soviet Union. It stops halfway somewhere. It never reaches here. The theory of subversion goes all the way back 2,500 years ago. The first human being who formulated the tactics of subversion was a Chinese philosopher by the name of Sun Tzu. 2,500 years BC. He was an advisor for several imperial courts in ancient China. And he said, after long meditation, that to implement state policy in a warlike manner, it's the most counterproductive, barbaric, and inefficient to fight on a battlefield. You know that war is continuation of state policy, right? So if you want successfully to implement your state policy and you start fighting, this is the most idiotic way to do it. The highest art of warfare is not to fight at all, but to subvert anything of value in the country of your enemy. Until such time.
Oh my God. That's so fucking cunning. That's so fucking accurate and right. Yeah, you don't change minds through wars and force like that. No. You got to go behind the scenes. You got to manipulate. You got to have the country, you see, destroy itself.
That the perception of reality of your enemy is screwed up to such an extent that he does not perceive you as an enemy, and that your system, your civilization, and your ambitions look to your enemy as an alternative, if not desirable, then at least feasible. Better red than dead. That's the ultimate purpose, the final stage of subversion, after which you can simply take your enemy without a single shot being fired, if the subversion is successful. This is basically what subversion is. As you see, not a single mentioning of blowing up bridges. Of course, Sun Tzu didn't know about blowing up bridges. Maybe there were not that many bridges at that time. But the basics of subversion is being taught to every student.
Water, this is supposed to be uplifting. I know. I said I was gonna try to do an uplifting stream. I talked about COVID. That was a little uplifting. This is not so much. Oh my god, I'm handing out more black pills and stuff, man. I might have to fire up a stream. I'm just playing Fall Guys and saying goofy stuff and just being a clown. But I don't know. This is crazy because it's accurate. What this guy is saying, the subversion, it's happening now. You know what? I don't have to say a fucking thing. Nobody does. It's gonna happen. We're seeing the fruits of it, of the subversion. We're seeing it now. 2020, 2021. Take China. As China flex its military might, wants to extend its borders, challenge India over its borders, over land, challenge the Philippines, challenge other Asian countries for its land and right to claim the sea. As they quarantine Muslims in re-education centers where they're forced to eat pork, where they're waterboarded, electricity's used, starvation's used. America, you're going to see it this year, is going to stand by it. If that happens, that's fucked up. That's real fucked up. It was, I think, a couple of days ago, was it not? Where China actually tried to frame the Uyghur Muslim camps as a positive thing on Twitter. That was promoted and spread on Twitter. But Trump was taken off. You take off Trump because his supporters want to go say hi to Nancy Pelosi. You promote China, who's rounding up Muslims, putting them into camps, forcing them to eat pork, telling them that Islam is wrong, electrifying them, waterboarding them. Everything, it's all warped and screwed. We're gonna find out more and more, man. It's going to get more intense this year. I guarantee you it's going to be a fucking crazy one. 2020 was just getting started. 2021 is when the ride goes fucking ultra. You goddamn watch. We're going to see some shit. We're going to see some shit, and we're going to be fucking surprised about how our government reacts. When I say we are going to be surprised, I'm saying... maybe not you guys in the chat, but you guys are probably going to be expecting it. I'm expecting it. But I wonder if every day just average normie types would be expecting it and how they would react, how they feel. You know, it makes me wonder because I've seen it a few times, not very vocal, but even those on the far left on Twitter, the commie ones, the ones with the roses in their names, all that. And Antifa and all that in their names. They point out China Uyghur Muslim camps. But like, what's going on here? This is a problem. I wonder because they're all about progressive values. They're all about loving Islam. I wonder, and I bet you they will shut up and play their part when they are fully convinced, as it's probably going to be, that China's doing the right thing to just curve extremism. Man. Okay. This was a dark episode. I guarantee you the next ones are going to be a little bit more positive. Even if something crazy happens, I'm not going to cover it. We got to have some more positivity here. We got to have some light. Razorfist has a video in Hollywood being read for a long time now. Joe McCarthy got defamed and attacked for calling out the communists. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I've seen that. Okay. So I'm going to end this here. We'll have a Rant to Chill tonight. Maybe get a guest on that they rant about what they want. And that should be a little bit more positive, because when it's me on my own, boy, do we get dark. Mr. Deadman likes dark stuff. Anyway, y'all take it easy and try to be safe, guys. Okay? Take care.